A terrible tragedy has struck Decai's family. His wife fell and miscarried, left lying on the cold ground at night, feeling worse than death itself. Desperate, she went on a hunger strike, grieving both the loss and the unbearable pain. The fourth son, furious at the situation, ran away from home, refusing to return. It seemed as if Decai's wife might lose yet another husband. The situation had already been tense. When Decai's wife, Kaisa, first showed signs of pregnancy, everyone assumed she was carrying twins. Several of the village men, including the fourth son, believed the children could be theirs. The fourth son, young and eager, had been staying at Decai's house, working from dawn till dusk, chopping wood for Kaisa to ensure she had enough to keep warm during her confinement. Everyone was working hard toward this goal, but things grew even more complicated after the second and third brothers divorced Decai's wife. With the added burden of Raisin's involvement, Kaisa's life became even harder, as her husband was too busy to care for her. Their family, while owning dozens of goats, an invaluable asset, was struggling. Uncle Decai cherished the goats more than his own sons, spending all his time in the mountains tending to them. He knew that he was old, and that the baby in Kaisa's belly wasn't his, so he no longer cared for the housework. This left Decai with no choice but to take on those duties herself. After feeding the sow at home, she set off alone to the mountains to gather firewood. Her husband had run away, and she had to be strong. In such a barren place, laziness meant starvation. Despite her hardships, Decai's wife kept working hard. She chopped firewood for the photographer and even made a cup of white wine every day for him. No one eats or drinks for free, after all. But while she was working, her cell phone, a gift from the third brother, fell out of her belly band. Seeing it, she felt a pang of regret, wondering if the third brother would ever regret buying it for her. She fantasized about calling him one day, hoping to hear news of the second and third children. As Decai's wife continued to struggle with her discomfort, she carried a bundle of firewood on her back and walked home alone. But the steep mountain road was unforgiving. After only a few minutes, she fell hard on the ground, scraping her backside. She felt a sharp pain and touched her belly, realizing something was terribly wrong. The photographer, unmoved by her suffering, let Decai lie alone on the ground. The three men who had once pampered her, the Longens who'd always been quick to tend to her every need, were nowhere to be found now that she had become little more than a servant in her own home. In her fall, Decai had lost the twins she had been carrying. Feeling sick and shaken, she went back to the house to lie down, too distraught to cook. Uncle Decai, trying to comfort her, prepared dinner and asked his daughter to make it. Hoping to lift Decai's spirits and improve her appetite, his daughter beat several eggs, preparing a warm meal for her.